Hello. It's done like a weird thing now. I want that over there. Hello. Welcome to another video. We're kind of going through implementing the daytime protocol. Pretty simple. All it does is print the date. Easy. So far, all I've really done is make a client to do so. But a client that can kind of do many all at once. So, like, I could do 10,000 and I'll do lots of printing. I have like extra printing here that I kind of want to turn off. Don't want to edit the old binary there. So if I go for fprintf, this, not that one, this one here. Can we do that? And then if we just get rid of that, something like this. Yeah, that looks a little better. So yeah, that printed out 10,000 things. And I did it in a reasonably quick time period, I guess. So what I want to do is, at the moment I've been using a server that I've kind of done on the side, but it's got some limitations. So if we, I don't know, like, kind of limit it a little, but also do like say 10 million. And if we look at btop, my voice, I just realized might sound really bad, but you can see here that the server is actually 100% of its single CPU. So what I wanted to do was basically stop using that server and start using my new server that I basically only develop on this stream, which, yeah, I guess that's what it is. So maybe I'll open up a server. Maybe we can even do like a do client and do a server and do that everywhere. Hey, what did I do? That was weird. Cool. So now if we kind of make our main file, new project. It's not quite right. Something like this, and return red. And I might do a little prep work and have like a kind of do refer type thing. It will complain that we aren't using that. So I already have, let's make this a little bigger and also make maybe that a little bigger. So I already have, come on, cool. Already have this in client.c, and like potentially a lot of this I'll steal from this, but I have a return defer, and it's just a short little macro little thing that will do the thing for me. It'll still probably complain because we're not actually using it, so maybe I'll do a return defer. Exit failure, just because that's currently what is happening. I guess, and like maybe this can be XXXS. Cool. So now we have like a bunch of things that aren't included. So stdlib. So this one, oh, not that one. That way. What else do we want to include? Probably std bool. Cool, so that is all we need to do to basically return that. I've kind of got a little RSI on the finger. It's been in other things. But yeah, it's interesting. That heater has just turned off as well. Get an AF thing and it doesn't work. Anyhow, what do I want to do with a server? I potentially want to basically I'll start off with a very basic one and then we'll kind of move from there. So to start with, I kind of want to do a few things, and one of these man pages will tell me, not that one, but that one maybe. So yeah, we basically create a socket. I can recall doing that, and then cool, don't really need that, but then we will just do a bind. So we can do everything. You can just go straight to listen, and you'll get that. Interesting. But that's like random pretty poor. Cool. So what I want to do is take in some arguments. So what I might do is see what I do here. So I think I want to I don't know, have similar things here. We'll yank that to start with, and perhaps we'll kind of just pad out some things. So usage, we have a little macro, is it? Cool. So we'll bring that up and kind of paste that down there. So what will this be? So this will probably be like a bind address. So bind IP and port, and we don't really have count here, but we might have jobs. If jobs does not provide one less than the, I think I want to change the default in both this. Well, actually, like perhaps a better default is just none, and you have to kind of say the right thing. Well, I don't know. Now, I guess this gives like kind of nice way to do that. Anyhow, we haven't done that yet. So what do we want? We only really want this. So no, I wanted something like something like that. Cool. That took a bit longer than what I wanted to do. Cool. So here we have this was bind IP. and then we have a port. We don't have a count anymore, but this will just be jobs string, which was like down here, so we can right, so this is that default thing there. So it would be just that, I guess. So we have a unreachable. I just want to do a little. Let's get rid of that for now. Cool. We don't have that. Let's get a. Get there, and what am I wanting to do? I wanted to do IO things. Fork count undeclared. Maybe we'll think I want fork count to be here. In fact, like, where do I define it? Here, fork count. Yeah, it is right up at the start. What did that? Cool. So we can do that. Fork count starts off as 0 and does like some things. Sysconf, I guess we need to include unistd. Unistd.h. What are we doing? Count. We don't have a count. That's just not needed. Right, so we don't actually use this. How did we use it over here? We like check if the port's good at some point, don't we? Do we not? Right, so host and port. When do we? Yeah, validity. Here we go. So I think I want something similar to this, and perhaps we can do it after getting the number of forks. Cool, something like that. And valid code from, and this is going to be lookup IP port, I guess. And this is going to be lookup IP port. Because it's going to have to be a local thing. And I guess here I might accept a string of star, for example, which will bind to everything, or like an empty thing. I don't know. Perhaps to start with, I'll just stick with doing this. So this this host name, are we allowed to see what it is? Yeah, so we get a header info, and that is because socket needs it. Yeah, so connect is kind of checking up on that. But yeah, so what does bind need? Because that's what, well, we do need socket as well. And this takes a sock header. Because what did socket take? That just takes all the different things, and to be honest, we have this. The domain will be at inet because we want IPv4 type. We will want sock stream and was a protocol at 0, I believe, for TCP. So, in fact, like let's even just do that. So, sock FD. Well, it's really listen FD maybe, and this was going to be what were the order of the arguments? Domain type protocol. So the domain AF INET and the protocol was something stream. What was it? Sock stream. Sock stream and 0. And I think, yeah, that's good. So if listen FD equal -1, then we're going to want to do some error handling, I guess. And this is return to exit failure. Cool, perfect. So yeah, what's happening after the bind? Bind was wanting to take a sock adder info, and was connect taking? It was also taking a sock adder. Do we have like a wee little thing? So we get socket. So we have my address, perfect. So we just have this is not the domain we want. That's AF Unix, but I guess we get sock adder in. So we would want a sock adder in, I believe, is what we want. And so did I not get that in time? There. Oh, did I not? I think it was one off. That's better. Cool. This gives an example, surely. No example. Example. I love it. Alright, TCP might have it. TCP, because that's what we're doing. So we do that, and then, well, like bind doesn't really have my example, but accept will tell me. Alright. Example C bind, but like alright. So we have some sort of sock header that would set the family to our thing. But yeah, like oh, there we go. Get adder info. Get error info. So this has an example. Does it reckon? So that's the client, right? So this is the server as well. Perfect. So we have same struct adder info, but we also have a peer adder, but that's for peer, perfect. So what are we doing? We're doing the same get adder info. So I think the And then in here we would, when do we bind? We bind there. Cool. So I think what I can do is in the client there's a validity this function here. So I think I can kind of just take this something like that. Yeah, maybe look up IP port, and they'll just do the right thing for me. And so that kind of means that in here we will have to no, get this thing. And then what do you this can actually go away. Right, what do we do at the end? We do this in the defer, so defer. First defer. Cool. So that would mean that where we check that validity, we would just do something like this. But then for this we do IP perfect, and then this would be IP, and we bind IP. Yeah, look up. Cool. And so that would just tell us if it's valid or not. But then what we would do then is server program, and then down some, and then we would just do a bind using that address. So it would look very similar to the connect this bad boy here. So perhaps over here we can do something like that, and then this can just be bind. And I believe we can just do something like that. But this will have some different things. So maybe get header info. I can have a so we get the socket, then we bind, and this doesn't check for errors. Cool. But what errors could there be? Errors. It could have a few, and some potentially I should deal with now. But I feel like if this is the case, so validity, I would probably just want to go and listen fd equals bind socket, and what are we giving? We're just giving a error. And with connect socket, this happened there. yeah, ignore that trail of thought. Cool. So if I think here we would do something like this, and this would be bind. So we can't bind for some reason. Probably do a return defer, exit failure. Perfect. Right, so at this point here we have bound do something like that. So the next step is basically calling accept in an endless loop. So we have this. We don't have fork count yet, but we'll have it there, I guess. It can be a very quick second thing to add on. Very naive implementation is just do something like while true. We would do something like this. Int sock fd equals accepts this, and we would pass it listen fd. That's all it takes, isn't it? Oh no, it takes like a bunch more stuff. Cool. Do you have example? No, you don't, but did this have one? Oh no, it wasn't that. Oh, that gets us the pair address. Alright. So this, we would probably want a struct sock adder storage. I think this is kind of what we do, and then we would do something like this. I kind of want a I mean there'll be an example here, except example. See, I don't know why they make it so like yeah, like help me stack overflow. Cool. So we have to have like just doesn't say storage. Like I don't know. Like, does anyone have? I suppose I could check how the other thing does it. This one looks like it might do a bit. Cool. Thanks. Cool. Thanks again. Yeah, that just has a because I don't know, I for some reason had it in my head that that was like potentially a thing. What I could do is look at or look and have a little see what we do there to change, and let's go there now. So when we do accept, we do an accept for, and yeah, see we've got a sock adder storage. Anyway, so we should probably call this a remote, and we don't need. Take me back there. We don't need the for at the moment, and because of that we can kind of get rid of that. and there might be some errors and whatnot. So I believe we probably should check for these errors here. So if we get a integer, in fact, if we get all of these, it's fine. Sure, that's something good like that. And this will be returned for exit failure, I guess. I think here we can just go continue. Cool. So if we did get a file descriptor, what we want to do is generate a time for it. So I believe we can use C time. What I might do is just see if we can compile to start with, because I believe we probably need like a bunch of things. So we need socket, we need those ones. We still don't know about struct adder info. What gives you? I didn't want that one. Yeah, what gives you? So socket, we have iNet, we have internet, we have TCP. Like we also have Unisted. We will need like and include error node.h. We shouldn't need epoll. We shouldn't need time of FD. That's for something else. Yeah, like I feel like you should. Like you should know what that is. Struct editor info. Like where is this defined? Did we need the GNU source? That's a different thing. We didn't need that. I don't get it. Oh, NetDB, I think that's the one we want. It's interesting it's not in here, but it might be in netdb.h. You the one that I want? Yeah, this is the one that I want. Cool. What do we want? this is going to be closing things as well, so we probably want to close FD. And adder len undeclared. Alright, where do we get that adder len from here? We call it one of those. Alright. Cool. We're at the point where we start printing some time. Right, so C time, it's a thing that you can use. Basically, I don't know, you just give it a time t, which can be now. So we can do something like time t now equals time. So I believe we give time first, but that's 2 something, and we can just pass it null. This does theoretically return an error, but that's also a valid time. But we could get an overflow error, which I guess would tell us that, because we also have ENO, because it's C, man. Well, it's more C standard library, but so what we can do is do this, and if now equals -1, we can do a p error time, and we probably want to do a close of FD. And what we can do is kind of do that's right. Return defer, and then we'll do an exit failure. Do something like that. So now we can do a C time, and we can just pass it that now. And C time returns us a string. And so C time return a pointer to a string, or null on error, which could theoretically happen, I guess. So we can have just time equals C time, pass in that now object, and if time equal null, then an error occurred here. So we can do a little quick and dirty thing here. Then we go exit failure. And at this point here, we can, we need to get the length. So it's, and we want to get the length of this time object, and it's just always going to have something in it. I mean, like this, because it returns it, and I suppose it was back in, oh no, it returns a size t. Perfect. Let's use a size t then. So now what we want to do is write all of that. So we want to make sure that we write all of it. So we have like a written variable, and so while written is not equal to len, I guess, we've still got some writing to do. So we'll do this. I just realised I never actually turned this heater back on. Starting to feel it. This stupid thing, that's why I didn't do it. Or if I like just, I don't know, look at it, it might do the thing. I'm on the same network, buddy. So what do we want to do? We want to write some things. We want to write the buffer time, but where do we want to write it? We want to write it there. Oh yeah. Click. Perfect. We want to write that, and we want to write len minus written. Except we actually want to do time plus written. So this way we might have some left over. So if writ is -1, this is like there was a writing here. So this is not good. It kind of means that the socket kind of closed, I guess. So we'll make sure that we do close it, and then we can exit failure like this. What would be good is if this whole thing was in a and then we want to do written plus equal to writ, something like that. And then at the end, after we close everything, I think after we write everything, I think we now need to, we can't just close. We now need to do a shutdown. Yeah, shutdown was what it was. So this is in 2. And we want to say we are shutting it down for writing. No, we've finished writing. So we go shut down. Oh, I didn't want that one. I wanted that one. Shut write. And then if so this was one of those, like, it's either true or false, right? Yeah, 0 or -1. So if this is equal to -1, yeah, we it's kind of in a weird state, but what we do is we'll just close it anyway and then return to exit failure. Perfect. Otherwise, if that is succeeded, now we have to do while true endless loop. It's just what you do. You shut it down and then you endless loop it. So in here, what we want to do is we want to do some reading. So what we can do is, I don't know, make a reasonable size buffer. So this we can read into buff. We can read on file descriptor fd into buff, and size of I was trying to remember what the third argument was because I don't know how much I want to read, but that's what is returned. So here, if read equal -1, an error has occurred. So what we can do is just do a little read. So from what I understand, the point of this extra read loop is just to be extra safe. So basically the TCP flow goes like SYNAC, whatever it is, 3-way handshake, but then at the end you have a few different ways of closing it, and the way we do it here is the shutdown will send a fin, I believe, and then close will send a reset. But if you kind of do the shutdown and then wait for the client to close, then you know that the client has received everything that you have sent. Otherwise, some stuff might get written, not sent on the stream. So we do this, and if read equal to 0, we can just break out of this. And we don't actually care about the bytes that we read. In fact, we assume that there's none Well, we don't assume that there's none, but the standard, I believe, just says. Um, Interesting, it closes the connection after sending the quote, but the data received. Yeah, this is saying the data. Oh yeah, any received data is thrown away. So yeah, we're reading the data and just throwing it away. At this point here, it is closed. There's like a. It's kind of a weird thing. So close can theoretically be interrupted by a signal, and when that happens, it depends what system you're on, whether the file descriptor is actually closed or not. So I think it's got something down here. Blah blah blah. It's undefined, unspecified what thing it is, but there's some systems that do HPUX. I mean, like who uses that? Anyhow, does this compile? Right. So we don't have that because we need to say something like that. Is that what the gist is? We don't have that. We can include string.h. Fork count is never used, so we set it, unfortunately. So what I might do is could do even something like here. This is probably where it's going to be doing it, but for BS fork count, that's the one I wanted to do. Cool. So that's my new server. So what I might do is down in this bottom one, I might the server's dead. Quit out that film. We don't actually need it, and we might change into RFC daytime. And maybe run the server. Right, so we need to give it, what was it? Can we even give it localhost? I think we might be able to give it localhost. And maybe just like one. Cool. So, we get accept argument. Can we go like that? Accept invalid argument. Cool. So because of that, I might go strace minus e. Oh, and we'll just see what actually happened. So invalid argument. So fine, accept invalid argument. So what was invalid about this? We need to flick to what's invalid about it? Let's run it down here while it's not actually running. So strace we can do minus e, like network IO or network, just get it for me. So we make a socket. I think file will give it to me. I wonder if I'm doing a close in between. So we get a socket, and yeah, we're closing that socket. Oh, I don't get it. And Val. Oh, we're not listening. I think we need to listen first. Perhaps in bind socket, this can also start. The listen. Oh, I'm like failing with them. Do that, thanks. Cool. So if it was okay, then I kind of want to do a listen. Now the listen requires a backlog. This is something I recall. So maybe we can pass in a backlog. So this is going to return a thing. Now, what if this? It just marks it as a listening socket. So we are going to, and this was just going to be our backlog. And if L equal -1, what would your errors be? One of those ones, yeah, cool. So we can just kind of I think I want not that there. I think I want that. So if we can listen, then bail out. Otherwise, we'll close it and kind of loop back around and look for the next RP structure. And so that means when we do this, this could be that means we need a backlog. So maybe I'll make a little define backlog, and we can I don't know, 10,000 to start with. We'll say that's how many we can handle. So now if we do this, we're still getting invalid argument. Did we does this have a listen? Yeah, we're not listening ever. So we bind it, then we try and accept on it. Bind so bind socket I think I want to do this. Something like that. and then check it after everything. Yeah, cool. So now that is we're getting E again, which it's because we're doing this. So I don't actually want to do the non-blocking yet. So now we just have the one. So what I might do is, what do I want to do? So I guess down in this bottom window we can maybe go like, yeah. So we can run a client. Well, we can. Struggling with i3 now. We can run a little server, and if we try and just connect to it, I guess we get a connection, and cool, that does that. So what I kind of want to do now is maybe I'll get rid of this, and we'll open up another little. What are we doing? RFC, this one. So maybe I'll try localhost 1313, and how many do we want to try? 10,000, and we'll time that bad boy. Now I kind of want to go like this. Interesting. Oh, cool. We need to set a thing, and that slows us down a little. Reuse. We need to do this. What I really should have done was, I don't know, like, we want to set up this, after we set up the socket, we do that, and if that fails, we'll do a close sock FD, then continue. Something like that. We allowed it. Oh, did I like recompile in time? Yeah, I think I did. See if that's doing it. I don't know if it is. And what's this other one that we did in this server? No delay. That's for a different thing. That maybe I'll talk about it another time. So currently it's doing a thing, and yeah, the client is going hard, but the server is like just nowhere to be seen. Can we connect to it? We cannot. So I think I want to. Yeah, so we can't actually get to it until we like kind of close another. Which I guess we're kind of getting starved when we're trying to do the 10,000. Maybe I do want something like this, and maybe also right. we can do 2. But see, yeah, now it's waiting for. I suppose we're not doing the reads, so maybe I also want the reads as cool as well. So we're trying 10 connections. And yeah, see, now it is written to a thing. It's tried to shut down, but now it's just trying to. It's trying to read kind of seemingly forever. I mean, it's a blocking thing. But it's just kind of interesting that nothing didn't kind of fail out. So it failed then when we so there was a connection there, but I guess the client was not expecting one thing. So perhaps I'll go into client that if printf this one, I'll uncomment that and perhaps I'll kind of compile the client again. So if we kind of start up our server, we try and connect 10 times. It's doing things, so I'm gonna kill it because it's clearly an endless loop, doing not much. What's it saying? It's done 0. No, that's which fork it is. How many forks are we doing? We should only have 1 fork. It's done 1, I reckon. It's created 0 on this kind of iteration. Polled 1 removed. Size is 9, so it's got some things in the thing, but it only polled 1. Makes me wonder. I kind of want to know NFDs, and you can be something like that. And when I'm doing the map.size, I can do NFDs as well. NFTs is 9 in size. Yeah, so and it polled 1. What did it do with that 1? It did it. I don't know. I thought this client was looking good, but I should probably handle whatever that one is. So what do we not? Unhandled event R25. And it's when we can't even connect, which I would have thought would be invalid. Oh, poll RD hub. I think I do actually kind of want. That's exactly for this. Cool, back to this. So if we get poll RD hub as well, and it reckoned that we need to define a GNU source, something like that. Cool. So if we do this, now if we run this again, no, it's still not liking it. So first time around, it did one, created 10, pulled one of those, removed one from that. I think I need a I think I need to have a look, see what epoll is kind of saying. Right, this is that unhandled event. What unhandled event do I have? For FD3, we have events in. Oh, that's spooky. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Unhandled event, RD events. I requested that. Is it that? Right. So the last episode where I talked all about these things, I just realised it's wrong. Cool. So what we actually want to do, maybe we do save our events. So what we kind of want to do is do some bit magics on it. So we want to do if our events and poll hub. What we can do is because we are doing the same for any of them, we can do something like that, and if there's any flag in that, keyboard gone there, not equal to 0. If that is the case, do that first. We'll do that, and probably still do that. Yeah. And if our events and pull in, if that is not equal to 0, then we have some input which we can kind of go and handle, and those like down to maybe I'll do something like that. So this break I think I just want to do something like that, and if we got something else that's like unexpected, set right there. I just realised, no, that's alright, that's alright. Cool, so in this case, we do a continue if that is the case. Otherwise, we kind of haven't handled something. I think that's what we kind of want to do. No, still not, still not. Here's them all. Why doesn't it get them? So perhaps I also want to see what's happening with the read front. This couldn't connect to any of them because the server's down. See all my secrets and whatnot. Cool. We read a bunch from 3. We get nothing. And is that just because we only got that one? Yeah, right, so polled 1, FT3, cool. And this poll, we get 1 of FT4. Why is there no read on? I thought it was done the same way I had done. So where did poll actually happen? I want to go here. So if we break in client.c and for 10, so we have accepted and we've read and we're just kind of waiting. Oh, see, now we're like waiting for that one job. Well, yeah, I guess this is that one job, right? I guess it's 3 on this end. So we would get 3. Get the connection. So must be poll in right because it's the same as that. So should be going into make a new buffer and whatnot. We keep reading data. Didn't get as much that time. Got nothing that time. Do we need to send that shutdown as well? Or did that just go and do that? Yeah, because we were up there. So now we're on to the next one. Alright, so display these. P NFTs PI NFTs. So that is that. So we want 12 in that spot. We want 0 there. Yeah, so we got 12 in that spot. That is what we don't want. Less than. Cool, so that's doing the whole 10 in there. So if we do 10K, we're doing a lot of printing, which we can and we can potentially just do that. Seems slower to start with, which is kind of roughly what I thought would be, because we're going one after the other, and I also wonder whether we'll lose jobs. Unfortunately, we don't have any status printing on the client, which could be good, like once a second to show that you're this far through. So 30 seconds for 10,000 people, 10,000 connections. And what was it? We were getting 0.8 of a second, so it's a lot slower. But cool. That's working. What I might do is get out of there. Maybe we'll have a little look-see at this. And I also want to do a that bad boy there. So the server responds quickly, not under load. When we put load on it, this one is now no longer updating. Like, it can't connect. The server's doing not much, 4%. The client is like, oh my god, you need to give me something. 30 seconds. And now that watch is started going. Potentially this would be better off shown in something like this. Yeah, maybe we'll do 0.2 because we can. Right, so it's reasonably responsive. When we do this, it becomes unresponsive. So I think that's the first thing I'll do. But what I might do is like add the server, I guess. Initial naive server blocks on one connection, 10k in 30 seconds. Cool. And what were those changes I made over here? Yeah, make poll work right. Yeah, cool. So we can add that back in. Get commit. Make poll actually test the our events properly. Cool. So what do I want to do now? I kind of want to break out and let's go into the server and see what can I do to make this better. I think it all starts here. So if fork count fork count is greater than 0, we want to do a thing. Otherwise, we kind of want to do a different thing. And I think the thing that we want to do is all of this. Get rid of that. And here we can do something like and handle child. So we'll call it a child. Can't remember what things I might need in here, but that's all I really need to do. So I guess here we just need to pass it this nifty for now. Is that all that we need? But we do need in equal exit success, and at the bottom here we just need a defer and return ret. And I think now that I've got this return defer kind of working, what we can do is actually have int fd equal -1, say, and then here we can just do that, and then pretty much every time we do the close fd, we don't worry about it. And what was this one? This one we might. Yeah, that's all right. And then here, if fd equals, if it's not equal to -1, -1, then we want to close that final script there. Cool. So that's all that for the server. So let's kill that, start it again. We can't, alright. I guess that is because we never do the handle child. So we can just kind of pass that in. And this I want to be more than one, because if you have one fork, then you've really just got your one process. So if we do this, we start getting the dates going in the side there. Cool. So if we did want to do some forking, we probably want, I also need to kind of set up some things. If listen FD not equal to -1, then we want to close listen FD, and that means up the top here we probably want in listen FD equals, and we can start off being -1. Yeah, I kind of want a bunch of forks. So how I did it in the client, so if we go that way, we have this variable forks, which we just set if we need it. So what I might do is, I mean, we can even kind of go into it, do that and do that. And then we were doing something like this, and I think we can almost just copy that. Verbatim in there. And then if we are in the handle child, we I think the comment is useful here. And our context is really just that listen FD. I believe that is kind of what we can do. So if we say make 2 servers, alright, so we've made some servers. Hopefully I just have 2. Yeah, cool. We kill. So we fork them, but I forgot to wait on them, which is this little chunk here. Do that and do that, and make sure that it's all there, and cool. And like it was this weight or something, it's this weight, yeah. include sys weight each. Cool, so now it won't run in the background, but it will still run two things. It can be useful running in the background sometimes, but you need to do a few extra things to safely detach it from your terminal, otherwise things won't go quite as expected when you close the terminal. So now that we have two servers doing a very naive thing, I would hope to see that we would still get some dates coming through. We get none. It might just be too much for it. I mean, we are sending 10,000. So we got it once they kind of stopped going through, but yeah, and that did notably get a little quicker. So 16 seconds and 10k in 30 seconds. So that kind of halved the time just by splitting the load. And I think that is roughly what will happen if I add more forks up until a limit. But yeah. Whew. We definitely lose some. Well, we don't actually lose some. It's got a backlog. But what we can do is say do 15. And see, now we did kind of get some come through. And that was like 10 seconds. So that got quite a lot quicker. Well, basically, the amount of cores that you chuck at it means the quicker you can do it, I guess. But yeah, if we do 10,000, it's probably going to be a bit slower. But I think we can move from here into a more event-driven design, and hopefully unleash the bottleneck, which is now, as you can see, the client is the bottleneck. Which, does that make sense? Yeah, the server isn't doing enough to serve what the demands that the client wants. But then before it was, the server was 100%, so the client was 100% before as well. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying things. I wonder if this will be 30 seconds though. But what I can do is kind of just add the fact that we now can do forking. Add forking to server. And yeah, you'll see like there's I'm still doing 100,000, but I'm still getting connections coming through. It's something to note. So I do wonder what happened to the rest of the connections. Like, what's it doing now? Maybe I will do something like this and... Whew, gosh. Display link manager. 100% just because I'm doing this. But like, I don't know, it's only updating like 10 lines of the screen, but apparently that is very exhaustive. So I'm just wondering where that went before, because This is still kind of going through like 10 seconds to service something. It was weird that it just kind of stopped. But yeah, I'm happy with, well, I thought I was happy. I think I'm happy with how the server is as a naive approach. In the next step is make it event-based. It's just clearly the next step. And we can take some of the logic that we did with the client with the arenas and whatnot and good memory management, and it can likely be quite efficient. Right, so it should be coming up to so it's kind of just stopped. Makes me wonder what it's up to. We can find out what it's up to. So it's in poll. So if we have a look in here, NFTs. So apparently we have quite a few things left to go, and we do have a map, and the map has 218 things in it, so that is roughly what I would expect, and we get 12 back out of it. What's happened here? No, don't start it again. So I want to fin from here. Into, so yeah. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. 206, and we were we never actually printed it, NFTs. I think they're just lost in the throw, and they potentially are lost because we kind of go up to 100,000 there, but we have a backlog, and it's only of 10,000. But like, maybe if we make it 100,000, start that again, and start that again. And maybe the wow, this bad boy. So it's slow to start with. 10 seconds. We can make that quicker there. Don't you worry. But yeah, need to make sure it works correctly. So the server, when it accepts a connection, it should probably create like some kind of a context for that connection. We'll call it a connection. Into that, So this was kind of like you have a new connection come in, that sort of event. You can prepare the date and save it into a buffer that you get from an arena. And then you set the poll event to now ask for output, whether output is available. And in that case, you will then set, you will then try and write whatever's left of it using similar thing. We have a buffer. We can just write it out. Right, so at this point here, it should be getting close. It just did all of them. So I wonder if I fixed it by just increasing the backlog. Most likely, that is what was the case. Backlog of that. Did we already have no? So add fork in the server. Increase backlog. So when we are trying to do, what was that? 100,000. 100,000. We want kind of like 7 to 8 seconds, and we're currently a minute, close to 2 minutes. So I think I want to kind of note that down. 100k in 1 minute 45 seconds. So that's kind of our goalpost, I guess. Try and beat that. And so how will I go about that? So in each of the children, we can just do. So I might ignore child for now, and I think I'll go straight with the select type thing. So at the moment, this is doing a while true, and it's like blocking on accept. But we also may have other things, if that kind of makes sense. So what we want to do is kind of rejig this. And what do I have? Yeah, we got time to kind of go through this, I reckon. So in here, we were wanting to do select to start with. I'll do select to start with. So we'll have a FD set. Is that what we call them? FD set, yep. So we'll have a read and we will also have like a rig read. I'll just do something like that. And so this was gonna take we need to know what the last thing is. So last, I guess, will start off being listen FD plus. Well, it'll just be that is our last. So here we actually want to do int selected, I guess, and we can do a select, and we were selecting on the number of things, then the things that we want to read. So we'll have last plus 1, and then we'll have so I think I kind of want something like this, and we also want can do something like this, and and I don't care about the exceptional. I think that was the exceptional. And I think I need a timeout, don't I? A timeout, and what timeout do I want to know? Timeout, if the timeout is null, it's a block. Cool. So one more null for good luck. So if selected is that, then there was a error, and like, don't know. There could be a few errors that we would care about, but I guess in this we'll just do a return defer. Like for example, there could be a signal, which currently we don't care about the signal. So to start with, we need to set something in here. Now, does this give me the thing? FD set, we want the file descriptor, then the pointer to the set. So the file descriptor is listen, and the pointer to the set is orig read. We'll next read, I might call it. Next read, and we can also have a next write. And we can kind of make a copy of it there. And we can maybe something like this, and then here we can call that something like that. Cool. So at this point here, we need to know, we need to have some stuff that we did have in client. One thing in particular is probably a map. Go here, thanks, and then here, and then here, and then there, and there. So we need to have a map because we need to. And how do we declare these maps? Map. We need to have a thing that I mentioned before. So we will have a connection type. So we're going to have a map between, we basically have a map between the file descriptor and the connections, and we can just have this in here as a map in connection, and this is going to be, we can just have it as a static thing here, but in defer we should probably do like do something like that, and maybe also clean up anything that we had. Now, did we want it in this map? I think we don't, because we don't really know. Well, I suppose we're saying if we've got a I don't know. Right, so because of that, we have that. Now, at this point here, I guess here we can probably do like handles equals 0, and like while handled is less than selected. I mean really even not equal selected, and we can just do a handled plus there. So in here we want to do some selecting. Is that kind of how I want to do it? I think it's not really. So I think to start off with, I want to see is if FD is set, and what do you do it on? You do it file descriptor. So we want to see if the listen FD is set on the readables set, which is what is returned to us. And if that is the case, we kind of want to do this. And like do a like equals equals in that, yeah, perfect. And I just realized I want to now, where we do the socket, we want to do the yes, I want to do sock non-block. That is the thing we want to do, and I also want to do an except for here, and except for the flags I want to do sock non-block, sock non-block, something like that. And maybe we can down here maybe we can do something like that. Cool. That thing's turned off again. I'm feeling the jaw. I don't know if that turned on or not. It shouldn't have turned off already though. Maybe it's just getting. The sun's probably gone behind the hill. Cool. So if this is the case, we want to do this. We also want to get an arena. Well, we want to get a connection. One to do something like this. And if this is the case, yeah, we'll just bail out. Do we really want to just bail out if we can't? I think if this is the case, we probably just want to free up things. Which kind of makes me want to make this be a handle listener. And we can just handle the listener, and it is listening FD, and that's really all we need to know. Maybe a pointer to our map. We also need to have a pointer to our next right. And then in here, and yeah, like I guess if it fails, we just don't really care. But in whatever it is doing, we will potentially we will just return the new what do I need to do? I need to do like a defer, and this needs to be a close FD, but return ret, and I guess I only really want to close FD if ret equals exit failure and FD not equal to -1. And in that case, I will do all of this, and this is going to be handle listener and listen FD, and what were we also doing? We were also passing in a map, which is the map that we're going to put things in, and we're also going to pass in we'll need a context soon because we need some arenas, I guess. In fact, like, perhaps this needs a context now. I think this might handle a little bit of a context now, so we can context T, yeah, we can just call it that. And what's it going to have? It's going to have a map. It is also going to have a I guess a FD set, a couple of them. It's going to have readables, and it's also going to have, I thought I got that things, writables. I suppose we need to keep a track of our last. And so in this case, it would be we'll just get a context. What would we do there? Are we not allowed to do that? We are, cool. So this would do that socket. Would make sure it's not blocking. It's done that kind of annoying thing that I don't know what I've done to make it do that, if that kind of makes sense. No, I worked out I could do that and that would not fix it. Cool. So if this is the case, I think we need to make a context, and this is going to be the thing is, we kind of want all of these things, maybe not all of them. Context, and and this is going to be and we'll just give it past pointers to the next one. Next read. And last we don't know. So if that is the case, we would then just pass it ctx. And what are we going to return from this context? Just whether it's an error, I guess. Let's get this arena in. I think arena. So we need this and come back there. Starting to lose what I'm after. Right, so I want this, and I guess it'll happen after this. So now we know that. So our context is also going to have a connection arena. Cool, and then this, should I just call this C? I won't, I kind of want something like that. But yeah, arena was the funny one that you did have to kind of dereference it even though you're giving it as a pointer. Cool, so what are we doing here? You almost want this, the remote address there. I don't know. We don't really care about it. I'm thinking too much. Cool. So our connection did have that. We don't have this buffer type thing. Do we want this? I think what I kind of want to do is a very basic thing. Because I'm using C time, this has a particular length, I believe. Yeah, 26 bytes. So what I might do is actually just do a char date 26. And that is what it is. But potentially I might want to change that at some later point. And we can have a send, which will start off with 1, but we basically want to send until that is 0. Cool. So, we getting a listener, we get an arena, we don't know what that is. Here we also want to make sure we go fd set, and we want to go well, we just want fd, right? And we want to do it on the context writables. When it is writable, let me know. Anything else we need to do up here? No, I think that's roughly that. So we've accepted the connection, it's non-blocking, and let me know when it's writable. That's all I need to do. And so I guess up here we probably need to do an int ret equal exit success. It didn't fail. This can be like arena new connection thing, just be I should look up, well, I don't know, I need to try and work out what it is that's doing that, because like that's my highlight buffer, highlight search. What's that highlight for? Right, anyhow, we get this. We need to get the date as well to shoving this connection thing. So I guess before we even do that, we could probably let's open up this one over here and see time. We can probably just yoink this. So I guess the date doesn't need to be size T if it's only going to be that big a bit. That's fine. So now what we want to do is actually do C time R, and can you put that, are we in the place that, yeah, we're doing listener. So now put it in the place that I choose, which will be connection date, I guess. And connection size, I guess, will be like that. This we will need to make sure that we get the connection before we try and write the date into it. So if that is all good, then we get that. Cool, perfect. So that is what happens when we get the, and that's doing FD set. So next round it should pick up those writables and maybe have some writables. So what do I care about this? I didn't really care about that. It's done somewhere else. So here I think why is this off by one? I think I want to open up again and do the server. Perfect. Something like that. We need define GNU source, something like that. Continue not in a loop. Alright, so this we actually want to do just return defer exit success. In these cases, it's fine. This is perfect. Oh no, we want that. Is that what we want? Yeah. We don't need that there. Perfect. That's why that. Cool. Handle listener, we just wanted context in there. Cool, so that's done all the things. So that basically means that this code is kind of already handled. So now we need to do map for each in line, I guess. Yeah, that's right. And we can pass it our map. How do we do that down there? Right, so what we're going to do is fuck, man. face hurt. I should pack up and go inside. Cool. So what we want to do in here is if we have is that so we have a value here, and we can check to see whether the readables is set. Yeah. So if we can do some reading on it, we'll do some reading on it. Perhaps for the sake of code flow, I'll do the writables first. We writable. So if it is writable, then we kind of want to do this. But it kind of implies that we have a connection, so we probably should be able to get a connection equal null, and we probably want to go map get, and I think you just go map get. Let's open up the old client, just see how we get the maps. Map get. That's exactly what I want to do. Take me back here. Except we already have the map. I just realized the connection is the other thing in the map, and this is the key, so we don't need to get it out of the map. So what do we want to do? We need to write so this will be connection, and is that actually no, what is it called? Connection. It was, I might call that written as well. And we can call this size, and then we are going to be writing to the file descriptor, and this is going to be connection data, or I think I called it date, but I think I might call it data. Just kind of is what it is. Right, so we will write what we can there. Now, if we get a -1, we want to check for a few things. Maybe these ones. So, right, if we're in here, we want to do and again, or do something like this. I'm noting that we're like still in the middle of a macro, and like this should probably go out into a like and cool handle right, and we can just pass it the file descriptor, the connection, and probably the context, and we probably don't care we'll do that, and then up here, what do we do? And handle right, and we were passing in a file descriptor, and we were passing a connection t connection, and we're also passing a context t context. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Off by one slightly. Right, so if we do this, we don't care in those cases, but in any other case we would care. So if this is the case, we just do a return defer exit success. Say that we did do it, otherwise we write out so that should be in there, I guess. And then once we have written everything, I guess we and in this defer we could probably also do connection written equals written. Kind of just write it back. But if we have written everything, we kind of just want to do that shutdown sequence, which golly, where was it? Just this one here. And I think this I just want to do here. No, like yeah, it could be done anywhere. Cool. So we would handle the right, and at this point here, we also want. I think this we probably just do an abnormal close if we couldn't shut down for whatever reason. But we also need to mark we need to unset we need to unset FD. So there should be an fset clear as well. FD clear. So we want to clear this file descriptor from the context / writables. We don't care about writing anymore, but we do care about readables. Yeah, we do care about readables now. And so then that kind of just passes off the chain into the next one. But if we don't get to this point, we would still be interested in the readables, and that would it would still be in that set. I believe that is roughly what I want. So we also need like rec equals exit success. Is that what we want? Yeah. And so in here we do that handle right. I suppose if it does happen with exit failure, maybe this is where we would clean it up here. So if it does happen, we'll do that, and like FD clear, and we'll clear it from the next read, and we would also clear it from the next write. We do not care about it. Now, if last was this, we kind of no, I think I want just to be something like this. Yeah, we'll set it to that. And if everything went to plan, then we would go if FD is greater than last, then last equals FD, something like that, yeah. So, now what do we do when we've handled that? What do we do if read is set? We basically want to do this loop. So, it would maybe look similar to this. Handle read that could have a failure like that. If it does happen, we'll do that. I think, yeah, that's good. And then up here, maybe we'll do it down here. So we can do an int handle read. I think it took the same kind of stuff. One like that, and then a context also. Cool. So this also has a kind of thing like that. And what happens in the defer? Maybe we just do a return ret. But yeah, we do have this case here that if we kind of hit there, we probably want to do a break, but we also want to do that kind of cleanup of we want to close the file descriptor. We also probably want to do an arena free, and this will be a connection. Golly, what was it? It was a connection arena, and it was actually context, and we are going to be clearing up our connection. We're also going to map, is it remove? Yeah, and here we can pass in our map, and we want to remove from file descriptor, do we have to pass in more things? Take me back there, but how to do that sort of thing. Remove. So yes, we do need to kind of have a few extra things. So we have the key. We can pass it back to connection. We already know it kind of exists there. And here we can probably have like an unreachable FD D not in map. Really, I mean, it's something that shouldn't happen, but we could potentially just be like, whatevs. What did I want to do here? I want that to stay there. Cool, so we would also want to do an FD clear of the FD and from the context slash we are currently reading, so I guess the readables. So then it will clear it from that FD set, and if all goes right, that is good. But we do need to worry about the kind of things that we don't really care about, and if it was actually an error, then do something about it. Otherwise we don't really care about things, and then we do that, and now we don't need to care about that. And so handle read, this is basically the same as that, but we don't remove it from the map. Oh, we can't really remove it from the map because we're in the middle of a loop. So yeah, I think maybe make a little linked list. Things to remove. So we can look to see in this. Do we have? Yeah, we have like a list arena type thing. I don't know. Take me like here and plonk that down. So map equals this. Map equals that. Map equals that. Yeah, cool. And then also make me a list arena. List arena. And you can have a list arena. I guess, do we need the connection arena? Connection arena T. Connection arena, and in our context we need to make sure that we set our connection arena into that. Cool. And what was I wanting to do with this? Yeah, so this list T, do we still use it? No, we kind of just had a list to delete, which we never really did anything with, but we can make it like this. So during every select we will in fact, like, because it's not needed, because it's not needed, we can kind of just get rid of it, right? Maybe try and make the client, make sure that the client still kind of works. Client appears to work. Cool. So what was I wanting to do with this list arena? We can probably just get rid of it. List to delete. So pretty much every time that we want to delete a thing, we need to make a list t node equal null, and this will be golly, what do I want to call it? Arena new, and we gonna pass it that list arena, but pass that node that order, I believe. So if this is still null, then this is kind of just an error. So I kind of want this to be like a macro thing, so we can go define fail connection, and perhaps we should take in the FD. Something like that, and then in that we'll just go fail connection FD. And then in here we would undo that one, and then yes, norm, and then shove at the end that old goodness. Oi, not that actually. That one. No, not that. Oh, different keyboards. That one. Not even that one. That one. Nice little escape. Perfect. So this is roughly what we're going to be doing. And we would go list to. So this would be an error if this is the case. So maybe we'll just do it in a arena new, and we can go list t, and we can do what do we want to do in here? Yeah, just do a break, I guess. Well, what do we actually want to happen at this point? We probably want the whole thing to continue after that, and continue seems reasonably good, but it kind of means I don't want this. see if that is kind of what I want. So now if we fail connection, we wanted to do all those things. So, and then it can like kind of implicitly kind of do things. And what else do we want to do? We kind of wanted to, after we make this node, we want to node next equals list to delete, and then we just want to say list to delete equals node, simple as. And then down here we go while list to delete not equal to null. While we actually have something that we want to delete, we can what do we want to do? So we want to like do a map remove. Cool, we can do that. We have a map. We might need to remove this list. Yeah, so node. We should be having a value. Perfect. Value, and that can be just equal to FD, and I think I might want to just do that, make it a bit more obvious than it might be. No, not that much. A macro doing some magic on the side. So we would set the value to be that. So we would then do we kind of want to do this to be list to delete like that, and then we can do node value. We can have the connection, it doesn't really matter to us, and this is unreachable. FD, that's a D, not in map. It should be. And at this point here, we can do like an arena free, and we want to free in the list arena, and we want to free up node, and now we want to go list to delete equals node next, and we'll free up the arena after we kind of change it, and it should remove everything from the list, hopefully. Look at that. Seg file. We're writing on 146. 146. We wanted to do that. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I want this to be data. Thanks. Connection doesn't exist. That is because we just want that to be connection. We probably want this to be a little pointer. Same thing here. Don't have a defer. Oh no, what's this one that it's complaining about? Duplicate label defer. I feel like I'm allowed to have defers and do different things, right? Oh, yeah. Something like that. Connection is not. So this can be does the fail connection, I wonder, when do we free the connection up there, but if we're failing connection, if we don't want this map. I think at this point here, I just actually just want to go return defer exit failure, and that will trigger off this nonsense. And then in here, once we get the value, we will want to do an arena free on the connection arena, and we probably want to free the connection. And I think if connection equal null, that's can be unreachable as well. Connection equal null seems like a weird thing, and I think I will do a little thing like that. Cool. Is this looking right? Yeah. So now if we're doing the readable, we'll fail connection. I mean, fails maybe not quite the right word for it. So now our server is up, but it doesn't seem to be responding, I guess. So what I might do is do a little GDB. Do we have time? Yeah, why not? So in here we can break main. We can let's run that. So in here we got a bound socket, perfect. We should be doing that. Cool. So handle child. What do we do in handle child? So I kind of want to do a display on next read and next write. And then if we get into here, I also kind of want to display on. No, they'll be the same. Well, now I want to do a display on read bulls and also write bulls. And what do we have last? Display last as well, maybe. and then we can see how many we selected, just the one. I guess readables means that one is kind of readable, so yeah, so yeah, that kind of got overridden. So I guess what we want to do is just have one. We'll always have that one set. Then within it, we will work out whatever the last is. Oh, we never set. Oh no, last will get set back to whatever it is. Cool. So this will be readables. That will be writables. Writables. Cool. What does this one give us? If we just run it, doesn't help. So layout source. If we break on handle child, wasn't it? Handle child. If we just run that until there, we should get somewhere useful. Layout source. We were already there, maybe. So if I have a look at readables and writables, also maybe last, and also maybe selected. Doesn't actually exist any yet, but does in that scope. Right, so potentially that was working. I don't know. So maybe I will have it like that. I kind of want to stop that one. Let's start again. So now we should have like nothing coming through at the moment. So if we look at next read, next write, readables, and I also want selected, and like maybe also map. Cool. So we are currently blocked on that. So if we connect, we have now connected. Select should have told us, yep, there's something to read. Let's step into this. So we should accept that file descriptor. We should get a connection. Should get some data in it. Size should be right, and the connection should get set to 4. And we never put it in the map here. Handle. Yeah, so when we get this, we should be doing a map put, and this is context map, and we want to put the file descriptor connection, and on the error we probably just want to go the error. We can go map put. We can just call it map put, and this will do a return the exit failure, which should close up the connection for us, and then that should put it in the map for us. Otherwise, it just wasn't in the map. Yes, I did indeed, actually. So now, if we just run that, we don't get anything cool. Let's do a little thing. I might have to child. So we'll have a little look, see what is happening. So readables, writeables, next. I didn't mean to do that twice. Next read and next write, and also give me selected, and also give me map. Right, so we're currently waiting on a connection. We've now got one, so we should handle it. So I would expect next write to show up with a thing. It does. Notably, writeables doesn't, which is good. And map has some things in it. And maybe I want to do a list to delete as well, and display last. So now for everything in here, I kind of want to do a break on this. I kind of want this to, we can do a map for each different function. There's, golly, there's, yeah, cool. So there's map, map.h. So there's map for each, and we can do a function with a context. Yeah, that's right. So we can do a map for each with a context. Does it? yeah, we need to do that. And then the function will just be handle select, I guess. And this will be that. And then on error, we probably want to have some sort of an error. But I guess here we can. Like this is just I don't know what has happened here. So perhaps this can be the error. This can be handle select actually. Handle select. That's what the error is on. And if it failed, it will just fail the once. And I think if we get here, we should like maybe cool. And do something like that. And handle select, and what's this going to take in? It's going to take in a context, and it's going to take in a key, FD, and it's also going to take in a value, which is going to be the connection. And then if we do something like that and do something like that, so we don't need that, and then we can just kind of see what that is doing in, I don't know, debugger. And so this would be context slash writables, we don't need that, context slash readables. And this will just be just context, isn't it? Because we already have the pointer to it. The last we kind of need to set to be context last equal last. The fail connection, we kind of want this to do a return defer exit failure now, and then this can become a do while again. Something like that, which means this needs a defer, and that can go in there, return rect. Right, so the int rect equals exit success. So I think this FD check we don't need. I'll get rid of that one, but this now in handle select. Now we do need to do that, and we can set last to be context last. So we always update it if need be. And then down here we would need to do last equals context dot last. I think that's kind of what I want. So the list to delete, I guess, would need to be as part of the context. I think I might find the context struct. Well, we'll want something here. List to delete, and this can be pointed to the list to delete. Well, we're setting it off to be null, so now we just want this to be list to delete equals context dot list to delete. I think that's kind of what I want to do, and we don't need to set it up there, but wherever we define this, we should probably have a list to delete. What do we want now? Cool. Reckons next read doesn't exist, but context slash readables does. Context slash writables does. That exists. That does, and this will be like that. What's happening here? Oh, we need to pass in a arena as well. So that will be list arena, and that will be pointed to the list arena. And that will kind of mean that we'll need what do we have? It's in the context. Yeah, it's in the context. There will be that and something like that. Yes, there. Context is undefined here. We just call it. We do kind of have it. What do we have? Right, so that is because we don't want the inline one, we just want that one. Ooh, cool. Look at that, it gives me a little date. And so now if we do this, it does that. If we do like a little client for, I don't know, 10,000, what does it do? It gives us a thing quite quickly, 2 seconds back. So 10k was 30 seconds with naive option, but 10k was like 0.8 seconds before. So it could be improved, I guess. I just realized I'm not really checking whether the last is over the FD set size, because that's something you probably need to do. Because if I get a connection in, I accept it, I get a socket number, that socket number is higher than socket number that I can use with select, then I don't know what you were actually meant to do in that case. Are you meant to like dupe it down to one that you can, or golly, the server's going hard. if it's in a good state or not. Like if we just do yeah, it seems like it's in a busy loop, but yeah. It is what it is. So anyway, I think on that I am going to leave it as is. Maybe I'll do like a little this was working quite well before. Yeah, it was when I was just doing one job against 15 things. But if I was doing 2 jobs against that, yeah, I suppose the server actually kind of likes having multiple things. I don't know, I've got like 5 cores I can chuck at this. So theoretically, one could be on the other. But nah, I think something's not quite right here, but yeah, like it would be good to have some debugging output. Potentially that's something for next time. But I think for now, what I'll do is just kind of sure that was not used code. So I think I want to don't do anything there. Remove unused arena. Wasn't arena. Code. And now if we do git add -p, yeah, like it took 2 seconds before with just 1, but now it's struggling to in like a minute. Something's afoot. Right, so now we kind of just adding in a few things and so add select to server. There's some issues present. Yeah, because now I think the server has actually locked up doing something. Can do 2 seconds really quick. And now it's struggling. Yeah. Might need to look into that. I'll just figure it out and fix it probably. Because yeah, next time I kind of want to move into using poll instead of select, because they'll kind of get over the issue of having, in fact, like I wonder if I is it down 1? Yeah, I wonder if when we get a do this, if last plus 1 is greater than FD set size. If this is the case, then we kind of need to do an unreachable, I guess. FD word overflow select, and I wonder if this is what the case is at the moment. Nah, it's not. It's just something else. I don't know. Networking stuff is hard to debug because, yeah, it's tricky. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. Apologies if audio gets choppy and whatnot at points in time. But yeah, it's kind of fun project. Trying to speed things up. Potentially might look at hosting the server on a different computer, because at the moment now I'm trying to run multiple multi-fork things on the same computer, which could run into some resource contention. But anyhow, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.